Hello, it's Raticake and LazySp00n this week, and we are doing the Week 3 power rankings for the VTID.
Hello.
Do you have anything to say?
Let's get into it.
Yep.
So we'll start off with 16th. You have Luke. I have Sethie. We'll start off with Luke. I'm gonna say with Luke, he played a great game versus MX. It was a close 1-0 loss. He played well around the webs being set up on him, and a good job chipping down MX's walls while witch patching to keep his own healthy. Just unfortunate that MX was able to make the right plays to be able to outplay you and kick the W away from you.
Yeah, so I guess, I don't remember last week, but this week, it was great to see him actually running defog, unlike the first week with Mega Latios not having it. I have him at 16th just because he's one of two 0-3 teams, and I just feel like overall he hasn't quite played as well as Sethie, but had like a pretty solid week, almost won, so that was pretty good for him. Okay.
So move on to Sethie now.
Yep.
My 16th and your 15th.
Yep. Okay, so for Sethie, I thought he started out okay, kind of playing well as ahead of him, but Kapitol was just actually making predictions. However, going Mega Tyranitar against something that outsped it and could knock it out at that point made no sense to me. Same thing kind of happened with the Nidoking. It wasn't as bad because since Nidoking would normally outspeed Heatran, but since you knew it was a really fast Heatran, there's a decent chance it's Scarf at that point. And Como-O kind of I feel like no matter what the set was, it could have taken on Heatran pretty well, and he wouldn't have had to lose Nidoking. So I felt like he started out alright, but it was playing on that Heatran losing Mega Tyranitar and Nidoking when he could have just gone Como-O. It kind of reminds me of like some of the earlier weeks where he sacked a bunch of things when he didn't need to.
Yeah. Well, all I have down for Sethie is, like, in my opinion, you played like garbage. I'll be honest. You played right into your opponent's hand the entire match. You just played what was in front of you, and your opponent Kapitol, which for this past week you both were 0-2, was able to you played right into his hand. So I don't have much to say. So hopefully you can play better next week.
Yeah, I guess, and one other thing that kind of confused me was once he finally brought in Como-O against Heatran, he clicked Clanging Scales when I feel like the play that he was going to do was fairly obviously either stay Heatran or more likely go Bulu, and Clanging Scales doesn't really hurt either of those. So that play kind of really confused me, but yeah. Okay.
I guess we should move on to our 14th picks.
Yep.
You have DuccSucc, and I have Kapitol. We'll start off with DuccSucc, and I'll go from here.
Okay.
Duck, you're the MVP. I don't care what anyone has to say. You're the MVP. You're going to win it all. You got the well-deserved crit after your opponent was getting greedy and trying to go for +6 when he shouldn't have and should have just taken the knockout. So you got that deserved crit, and you deserve the win after that, because if he's trying to get greedy, it's like I don't know what else to say. He just didn't deserve after that. He could have won, but you got that nice crit. You deserve to win. You're the MVP. Keep it up.
Yeah. So DuccSucc, I have him down at 14th. Because this week, unlike usual, the hacks kind of went for him, which he deserves after especially his first week.
You call him Duck Luck now.
Yes. He got a needed but deserved crit because of how you said Nathan kind of got greedy, and instead of just attacking the Alakazam, he let his Suicune stay in to a point where it was kind of a crit was bound to happen. He also was running a pretty cool physical Keldeo set with like Swordsdance Aqua Jet that almost took out the Victini, and kind of just like Nathan was not ready for that. I just have him a little lower because I did feel like while it was kind of deserved, hacks were a fairly decent part of this game, or that one in particular, but Duck, I know I only moved him up 2, but he did really step it up this week and played a lot better game than he has been.
And he also prepped a lot better as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So move on to my 14th and I believe you're
10th, I think.
Kapitol.
Yep. So,
do you want to go first? Or I'm going to go first. Screw it.
You can go first on this one.
Kapitol, you played really well versus an opponent who did not. As I said, he played right into your hand. You made the right plays and didn't take any unnecessary risks. You played well. The quote-unquote risks you took, if they backfired, you didn't lose much, if anything, from those risks. So you played a great game, especially when your opponent's feeding right into your hand, or eating out your hand. Just those games are the best because it feels like you just are in their minds like, okay, you're going to go for this, I'm going to go for that. So you played well, but you're not going to beat Duck next week. Sorry.
Yeah, so I thought he had a pretty solid start. He had like Miltank against the Tyranitar, did some really good damage with like a Brick Break after taking an Earthquake, and then set up Stealth Rocks once he saw that the team basically, I think, had no removal. Then he switched it out to save it for later. He didn't need to, but since Miltank is so stupid fast for some reason, it could heal up on something else.
Miltank's such a good mon. It's so underrated.
Yeah, and then what I thought was a really good play is with Gastrodon going for the Toxic against. It was good against Tyranitar, but just the fact that it really did well against. No matter what came in, a Toxic was a good choice. Even if it was one of the two that was immune to it, they didn't beat Gastrodon. So I felt like Toxic was just such a great play by him. And then, like, while it might not have been like a super hard prediction, it was just like he could have just gone for a Scald and gone for damage or something, but instead went for the Toxic. One of the other things that was really big is when Abomasnow was in, clicking Earth Power with Heatran, expecting the Volcanion. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, he really just got in Sethie's head. That's why I'm a bit higher. I felt like he played really well. I feel like he's just been on the edge of winning so many weeks, and I just felt like he really played a lot better this week and had some solid prep.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next, our 13th. I have Captain Sebasaur, you have Wolverine. I guess you can start with Seb.
Yeah, so Seb, he used a Sun team extremely well this week. He got Marowak at +2 after Wolverine went for a Haze the first turn as he just attacked it, and then he went for the Swords Dance the second turn even after seeing the Haze, as Wolverine set up Toxic Spikes. And at +2 with that the Sun, he was able to knock out Toxapex, and he was able to take a Hurricane from Pidgeot and then knock it out with a Flare Blitz, and I thought it was really cool.
Rocket ability is such a blessing on the Lola Marowak.
Yeah. So he just did so much with that Marowak right away, and then he had Leaf Guard, which was kind of cool to see used on the Sun team, even though it was used on a terrible Mon. This one kind of made me happy because Seb has had some decently close games, but hasn't come out on top.
And now he showed that he can win big.
Yeah, and he just played it really well.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get what you said about the Mons, but good prep, good play. But fuck Meganium, that's a trash ass Mon. That's the reason why you're down here. For me, I know a Meganium can be useful. Can be is the emphasis, but if you don't bring it, you'll move higher up. I don't care how useful it is or not. It's trash. Get it out of here. For real, though, you played great. You prepped great. Basically, everything what Raticake said. You just showed that you can win big and play really well this week. Good job.
Yeah. So should we move on to Wolverine?
Sure thing.
Okay, so Wolverine is my 13th.
I have him at 11th.
Yeah, basically I have Wolverine down here ways because he just really misplayed around that Marowak and let it run through his team, taking out two of kind of his bestish mons, taking out Mega Pidgeot and Toxapex, hurt him so much. And he's kind of just... He came out after a low from last week, having a loss last week. He really needed to come back and win here. And having these two losses in a row, I think, is kind of going to get in his head. That's why I have him low, is I just kind of know he can do so much better, and he really did not show it this week.
Yeah. Well, after Wolverine, like, he really misplayed around along the Marowak early on, and that was just a downfall for him, allowing it to take 1-1 to take down 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it was like 2 huge threats on his.
yeah, and it's like he did try and make a place to get back in it, but your opponent instead just read your mind. So it's unfortunate. He did try to get back in it, but once you had 2 big threats down versus his team, it was just hard for you to get back in it, even though you tried. I'll give you credit for trying, but there wasn't much you could do from there since those 2 threats and Toxapex and Mega Pidgeot, and those would have been huge to help out.
Yeah. Okay. Should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
So these 2 we've already seen. So next we have Naz. You want to take this one?
Sure thing. For Naz, you had a good game, close 1-0 win. The EQ crit and hitting every Stone Edge helped. I mean, I don't get lucky with hitting moves that aren't 100%. Sometimes I run Flamethrower over Fire Blast just because. But really, it came down to that final turn with that miss, because that won it for you. If the high jump kick hit, obviously you lost. You wouldn't be up this high for me. But you played a great game, so congratulations.
Yeah, so this is Naz's first win. It was a 1-0 against Zombie, who I've had ranked fairly high this whole season. He was 2-0 before this. So there's a couple things that kind of bothered me about Naz. He let his Rapid Spinner die, while Zombie still had a Rock Setter, which allowed, or while he still has Volcarona on this team. I think like every week I've brought this up, and every week it happens, and it just like bothers me so much because it's such a good mon that he basically just neuters and takes out of the game. He missed a Stone Edge from a Lando Eye, which would have done a ton, which kind of sucked, but then he got a win off a high jump kick miss. Overall, both of these 2, I kind of, this week in general especially, but like this game, it was a very hacksy game from both sides. So
Yeah.
if that wasn't there, it's so hard to tell how it would have gone, because both teams had like so much hacks and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's still I'm glad it was a close game either way.
Yeah, it's like it kind of balanced out, which was nice. Like they're both getting a lot of hacks. At least it wasn't really one-sided.
Unfortunately, the hacks influenced the outcome of the match for that last turn.
Yeah.
But again, RNG, that's what you gotta hope. You just gotta hope to hit those moves.
Yeah,
And that's the risk you take with high jump kick. If you miss, you hurt yourself.
And even I don't know what he was running on Hariyama, but if that first high jump kick wouldn't have crit, I believe he could have taken one, because he used bulk up, hit him hard, and then if he was running like bullet punch, he could have still knocked it out. I don't know what the set was, but like the high jump kick miss just guaranteed that he won. So yeah, this was a hard game for me to kind of choose the rankings, just because
this was a hard week in general because people actually decided to make games 1-0 for a change.
Yeah, it was a bunch of, for us kind of ranking wise, upsets, a lot of hacks, and a lot of close games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess we move on to our 10th picks. You have Kapitol and Apache. We've already gone over him, so I'll go over Apache.
Okay.
Apache played Jason this week. He played a decent game. He just didn't prep enough for Celesteela. I understand the feeling. It's a monster. It's hard to prep for, but I don't. It's just a tough mon to prep for. You really got to prep for it, but then you have to remember all the other threats. And T-Wave spam was solid, even though he had 2. I know he had Lando. I believe he had one other immunity to T-Wave spam, but he still will use T-Wave spam nice around on his team. But unfortunately, he didn't prep enough for Celesteela, and that was your downfall.
Yeah. So I thought he had like a really nice play, because he kind of figured out, or he found out that Raichu was scarfed early on when it outsped like his +2 Mega Gyarados, I think.
Yeah.
And so he went for an Ice Beam against it, knowing it was scarfed and wouldn't stay in, and took out the Lando T, which was super nice. I thought he played solid until Celestia went out. He set up the Thunder Wave, which was good, but then he made such a big misplay, in my opinion, going for Stealth Rocks.
Yeah, unless he had Roar.
Yeah, he
He shouldn't have. he shouldn't have set stealth rocks.
He had to try to get some sort of damage, whether it's try to like do the paraflinch, so start using like Iron Head to flinch it down, or because it was already paralyzed, or just get some sort of damage to something else.
Something in to damage it.
Yeah, and he didn't, and it just allowed Celes to go sleep. So I thought he played a decent game, but he just misplayed around the Celestial in that, like, it was just one turn, he clicked Stealth Rock instead of something else with Jirachi. And I feel like, because I think it was a Scarf Nihilego, I'm pretty sure, because it was able to outspeed, or maybe not, but basically it outsped.
It's a fast one.
It outsped the +4. Celestial and did a good chunk of damage. So if he would have heard it a little bit earlier, it could have knocked it out and maybe changed the game. But yeah, so he played a decent game. That's why he's at, I believe, the top of the 1 and 2 people from me. First of all, he only has a -2 differential, which some of them have, which when you're 1 and 2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then also, I felt like he played a solid game until the very end. Okay.
It's time to move on to our next picks. We've already talked about both of our 9th picks, so do you want to start us out with who we both have at 8th and Nathan?
Yep. So we both have Nathan. Nathan, he lost to DuccSucc. He lost 0-2. He lost 2-0. And what happened is he went for the setup too early in the game, which, it might not have been too early, but it was the way he did it. He got too greedy in getting to +4 or whatever and everything.
Yeah.
Or +6, sorry. +6 and everything. That he basically... He
was just waiting for crit to happen.
Yeah, if he would have gone at like +4 or something even, he had a decent chance to just run through the team still. But instead he just waited for the crit. I will say... he did get unlucky with his sleep talks. That was part of it. His sleep talks, when like the Alakazam was in, every single time, I'm pretty sure it was either rest or calm mind.
You can't blame it too much for setting up on his sleep talk. But even afterwards, he was still going for calm mind.
Yeah, that's where it really bothered me, is
because I think it was the Alakazam, and he also took the Dharma at a different point with sleeping as well.
Yeah, it was like when it was awake.
He could have killed, but he decided to set up instead.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
And then, because then it allowed the Duck to get a crit with his Gengar, which knocked it out, and nothing else really could have.
Yeah, and then that flipped around the game, and Duck deservingly won that game.
Yeah.
Because, I'll be honest, Nathan, you deserved the loss this week just because you were waiting for that crit to happen to you by staying in that long. You got greedy, as we've said multiple times by now. I know you want to hear it some more, so you're being really greedy by staying in that long, trying to go for +6. So make sure you just get to the amount of stats you need, and then just start killing things if you're awake.
Yeah, because I think Alakazam, it ran out of energy balls, I'm pretty sure. Like, it was in that long, and then it went through a couple psychics also. So while some of that was while he was rest talking, he should have gone for knockout a little earlier.
Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next match now.
Yep. So you got this one?
Yeah. We both have MXC in 7th. So what I have to say is he had a very well played match versus Luke. Or 1-0 match, very close, but he made the right sacks when he needed to, as with Blastoise and Hippo. And even though he fell behind, he made the right place to get back in it and win it, because he did real well to play around your webs to whittle down your balls toxic while wish passing to his own. So he made the right sack, he made the right place to get back in and win it, which was amazing to see. So keep playing like this and he'll be even higher next week.
So I moved him up a good number of spots also, because I felt like he definitely has been playing better than any of the 1 and 2 teams. However, compared to the other 2 and 1 teams,
comes down to differential, but basically.
Yeah, he's
-1 and everyone else is positive about him.
Yeah, and he's lost to, I think, he lost to Woof, and then did he beat
he beat Seb.
or
No,
Seb,
Seb and then Luke.
who are who are two of my lower ranked ones. So just he's kind of in the spot that to me Woof was last week, where he hasn't proven that he can beat the higher
He hasn't proven he can compete with the top.
However, this week I do think that like I know last week I think I had him lower than like an 0-2 person or something.
Yeah, we both had. Well, also because he just filled in last week, so
Yeah,
we didn't see. That was the first time we saw him. But after seeing him now for 3 battles, he showed us that he can battle.
yeah,
And if he continues it, he will be higher.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't have too much to say. The battle, as you said, was pretty solid. Yeah.
I guess move on to our next. At 6, you have Zombie and I have Woof.
Yep. So I guess I'll go for Woof.
I believe he's your 5th.
Woof is my 5th. Yeah. So Woof, he had some weird kind of switching in the beginning when he seemed to have the upper hand, but like it might have just been kind of trying to predict to counter a counter that he was going to send out, which is okay since like everyone else who's just lost big to Vesuvius has just like attacked what's ahead of them and just really struggled. So he did lose, but it was 0-1, and as I said,
it was a really close game. Like both sides played well, so
yeah.
You
So
can't fault Woof for the loss.
that's why
I want to say a couple misses hurt Woof, which was the icicle crash on turn 31,
yeah,
and then the hydro pump turn 34. Those would have helped you out and perhaps given you the edge you needed to win the game.
yep.
But unfortunately, RNG is a thing, and it's the game, so get good and don't miss.
And
I should be saying that.
I will say, so I'm gonna kind of rip on him a little bit and then go to like what's good. So I didn't really get the Reuniclus set completely. I didn't understand why a Psyshock HP Fire. I felt like that could have just kind of done really well against his team with like Calm Mind and Recover. But it was still doing a good amount of work, and then he kind of just let it die against Donphan. And then he sent out Reggie Rock against Donphan, which didn't make much sense. Like that. Anyways.
Unless if you had like some surprise move to catch him off guard, but still kind of like what?
Yeah, and then as you said, the Icicle Crash miss really sucked. However, earlier in the game, Vesuvius was able to get like a +2 speed, +2 special attack Mew that could have kind of really just done a ton of work to Woof's team, but then he got a crit to knock it out, so it kind of evened out. Overall, I moved him up because, as I said last week, if Woof can compete with Vesuvius, I'll be really happy. And I think in the beginning of the game, Vesuvius wasn't playing quite as well as he has in the past couple weeks, but then he really turned it up at the end. But Woof showed that it's not just he wasn't 2-0 just because he was playing the lower kind of ranked players.
He showed this week that he can play well and almost if not beat the top players.
Yep.
I guess we'll move on now. We may as well skip to number 4 because those are the 2 we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So at number 4, I have Zombie. You have Pesky. We'll start with the Zombie because who's at number 6?
Yeah, he's.
And I'll kick it off. So in my notes, I said great close 1-0 loss. It was a great loss. Yes. Some crits hurt, and him always landing Stonage doesn't help. No, take that A drive luck and hit 8 Stonages in a row, win the game. But the miss at the end, that will cost you the game. Obviously, you hit that high jump kick, you would have won the game. But it was a great game played, and I believe you said that you didn't have much time to prep before the battle. So if that's true, you did really good with a short amount of time prepping. But sometimes also short prep's good because it's still fresh in your mind of what each one's supposed to do.
Yeah, so I guess a couple of things that I noticed. He forgot or something somehow that Lando I is a ground type, which was sort of a huge mistake because then he had Volt Switch.
Yeah.
Like, it just completely lost him all of the momentum there. And then with that, he didn't.
Yeah, I was wondering why I was wondering, it's like, he better have U-turned, and then he pulled out a Volt Switch, and I was just laughing.
Yeah, and then I just feel like he didn't really, as you said, it was a short like prepping time, but it was his prep just wasn't what it has been. He wasn't ready for Lando I at all, so it put a huge dent in his team. Mianchao, if it was like max speed, should have outsped the Lando I. But I don't know what was up with it, but it must not have been max speed, or he just didn't look at the speed of Lando I to know it would outsped, and that made it so he had to sack off like his entire team to knock out the +2 Lando I. So those were some things. That's why I put him down at 6th. So one of the lower.
I'm just gonna say, shout out to you, Zombie, and also Naz for actually getting your game done early this week compared to everyone else. You got it done, I believe, like Monday or Tuesday. Everyone else was like between Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah, and I think weren't there like 3 battles that were played Monday or something? I don't even know.
No, I think it was. I know it was
Sunday,
one Monday, 3 is Sunday.
Yeah, so thank you guys for that. It makes it easier for us, even though it is later now. But yeah, so he did get a little lucky with like 3 defense boost off Diamond Storm. He got unlucky with like the high jump kick miss, really unlucky with that actually, and some other stuff. But overall, yeah, his team just wasn't quite what it has been in previous weeks. That's why I have him a little lower, because mostly just not prepping for Lando I at all when that is such like a threatening mod.
Oh yeah, even without I forget his second ability, Sheer Force. Yeah, without that, it's still a threat. Maybe not as big of a threat, but still a threat nonetheless.
Yeah, and when I always just have a hard time. Like, I can see if someone sets up like speed, so you can't outspeed it, but something like this where he didn't set up speed at all.
Volt switched into Volt switched out of it.
If it has a ×4 weakness, it should not be that big of a problem. As
it
was.
Well, I guess we should move on to number 3 now.
Yep. We're actually gonna go to both of our second picks.
Oh wait, never mind. We forgot to talk about Pesky.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Pesky. I kind of forgot about you. With me. I don't care. He's my number 5. He's your number 4.
Yes.
I'll make up close 1-0 loss. U-turn was the better play instead of Volt Switch near the end there, while Crook was still alive regardless, even though it was like a 50-50 play. It was just the best play in my opinion, but played great nonetheless. I believe he went for that U-turn instead. Would have hit whatever was in. I forget if he switched or not, but it was the best play overall.
Yeah. So I guess Pesky, I have him at 4th. He's the top of the 2 and 1 players for me, because I thought this game was so crazy to me. They both played so well, and
this was like the game of the week, right? Like just like looking at it before the week, and it turned out that way in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say it like met all expectations. I thought going for the setup on Snorlax when he did the first time was pretty solid, until Archfiend showed Roar on Mega Venusaur. However, after that, I don't see why he kept on going for the setup. Like, I kind of get it, because then it made it so it could take on things until he sent in Venusaur, then hit Venusaur pretty hard. But either way, he kind of just kept on going for setup even when Venusaur was in, which didn't make too much sense to me. His physical Tapu Koko was really cool because it allowed it to hit Mega Venusaur really hard.
Yeah.
He had a Z Sunny Day Entei, which was cool because he's like been using that as a Z-Mon really well. However, he wasted the sun kind of by going for Calm Minds after setting up the Z Sunny Day. Plus, then he allowed Arcanine.
It boosted the Arcanine, so.
It boosted the Sunny Day and the Flare Blow to Arcanine, so that kind of bit him in the butt. So I can get going for it early, because then with what was in against him, Z Sunny Day would have allowed him to like take it on. However, it kind of came back to bite him in the butt. Overall, this was a great game. Both players played so well. It was such a close game. Like, it came down to like a 50-50, and then like I think it came down to a roll at the end also.
Yeah.
And I thought that I'd say it was definitely like one of the least hacksy games, which makes me so happy, because it just allowed it to be like a super clean, solid game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd argue that Duck had the best game of the week because he's the MVP in my mind and my heart, but realistically, this was the best game of the week. It was well played on both sides. Not many hacks like that affected it huge, and it just came down to plays and the rolls. So it was a great game. Well played on both ends.
Yep.
But now we get into the people who haven't lost yet.
Yes.
People who are the actual winners. So we're going to go to number 2 because Vesuvius, you're number 2, not number 1. You never will be until you beat Jason week 5, but I doubt you will. You're number 2, buddy. I'll start off because you probably doesn't want to know what I have to say, but you're going to hear it. You played very well in the 101 versus Woof. A couple misses helped you with when you missed the hydro pump and the ice wheel crash, which could have hurt you. But all around, you played a great game. Just a couple misses helped you out, and you were able to win that game.
Yeah, so I actually moved him down a spot this week, even though he won a 1-0, and the person who happened first also only won a 1-0. Basically, the reason I have Vesuvius down a little lower, or down one spot, is I felt like he just was not playing the way he has been in the very beginning. And honestly, to me, it wasn't until it became a 2v2 then Vesuvius just like cranked it up and like was making it like great plays and everything. But until then, I felt like it was just like,
an average game from him, like a bit below average even. For that,
for the way he's been playing. So that's why I
gives me a good reason to keep him at number 2.
Yeah, and
he's gonna be upset about this because I mean, you told me to put him number 1 because he played a harder match, but you gotta play a good match to be number 1.
Yeah, and it was a close game that, I just felt like the top 3 here are all really close.
Yeah, like I mean, they're within like the same 3 or 4 different plus.
Yeah, it's plus 9, plus 11, and plus 12.
So that's only 3 differential between plus 9, plus 12. So they're all really close.
And the top 2 people, Vesuvius played Woof, who was undefeated. Archfiend played Pesky, who was undefeated, for me at least. My top 2. And I just felt like the top 3, Jason, Vesuvius, Archfiend, all are on the same level. Even to me, PeskySkitty is there too. But I just felt like this week Archfiend played a slightly better game, and that's why Vesuvius moved down 1 for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's move on to our number 1 now. I keep Jason at number 1 because best differential in the league. He deserves this still. But we can start off with Archfiend since we're just talking about him.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go first. He had a solid start. He kind of recognized, or it seems like at least, right away that Kruk was really nice because of the Intimidate. Plus, I'm pretty sure PeskySkitty had no ground resist and 3 mons weak to it. And then also he did a great job getting rid of rocks as soon as the rock setter was gone from PeskySkitty. Roar Mega Venusaur I thought was a really cool play because of how PeskySkitty does have so many good setup mons that Roar Venusaur could basically at least take 1 hit from any of them and then just throw them out. And then at the very end, to me, that kind of secured the lead or win, but not really. It wasn't the 50-50 that happened, but going for the taunt on the Snorlax was so good because Snorlax could have came back and won with Curse, but he taunted it so it couldn't Curse, and it just secured the win for him.
Yeah, that secured the win, but I know what basically put him in the winning position for me was predicting the Volt turn instead of U-turn, or is it Volt switch? Why did I write Volt turn? Predicting the Volt switch instead of a U-turn. That was just great. I believe if you mispredicted that, you probably would have lost the game just because of how you both are playing. Yeah. But and then again, that taunt afterwards secured you the win. So good job.
Yeah. So I guess one thing I want to point out, basically for me, whoever won their game this week, whether it was Pesky or Archfiend, would have been in number one because it was just such.
It was high play on each side.
It was a high play where hacks didn't really matter, and whereas so many of the games it did, and yeah, I just felt like Archfiend played the best game this week.
Well, I beg to differ. Jason is my number one still.
Yep.
He's just been playing strong every week, in my opinion. Of course, he got that lucky Dark Pulse flinch early on.
Yep.
But I didn't play big overall, but he did play real well around the Mega Gyarados setup at the start of the game, which would put a lot of pressure on him. And after that, once the Celesteela came in, he just was able to, with the misplay of setting up rocks with Celesteela after the T-Wave, he was able to set up some more, and some more, and some more, and win with Celesteela and I forget if it went down or not.
If what went down?
Celesteela.
No,
I forget if it
was there at the end.
Okay, because then it was last week I was thinking Lando T cleaned up, but no, so Celesteela was just too strong and it cleaned up.
Yep.
So you just played really well. That's why you're number one. You got the biggest win out of the top three, so stay number one.
Yeah, so I have him down at number three. Because to me, he played Apache, who has not been playing as well as PeskySkitty or Woof. Sorry, Apache, but you're 1 and 2. You haven't.
He was 1 and 1 before the battle.
Yeah, so he was 1 and 1 before the battle. So another reason I do agree he played really well around that Mega Gyarados in the beginning. However, at the end of the game, I think he got a bit lucky, and I do think that Apache kind of threw it in that one turn. But then after that, Apache still could have won. I think either Jirachi, Nihilego, or when Shane Delore was out, if there would have been a paralyze at any of those times, Apache still could have won it, and it would have allowed him knock out. But he got really lucky. I don't think he got full paralyzed a single turn.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
That's so nice to happen when you're the one paralyzed. Not so much when you're on the other end. You're like, come on! You get the pair on the one turn you don't need it.
Yeah, so that's why I put him at third. Is just I felt like he got really lucky at the end there. While I guess Apache might not have won if that would have happened, he did get really lucky with the hacks or the lack of hacks.
I want to point out of everyone in the top three, all their games are close enough where their opponent could have won at different points. It's just at a different play or a different roll or something. So it's not like we are leaps and bounds ahead that their opponents easily could have beat them.
Yes.
So it's not like it's going to be impossible to knock them off. They can lose just like Sethie and Luke have every week.
Yeah.
So
exactly,
they just haven't lost yet. So threw a couple shots, but.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into little things about just the week in general. I've kind of brought up before. This week, I am pretty sure that someone in Battle Arena decided to go to the hacks settings and turn them to times 10, especially in important moments. Like the crit that DuccSucc got, the high jump kick miss, a couple of the crits before that really mattered.
The misses, and Vesuvius versus Woof, those 2 misses.
Yeah, so 2 things for me personally made it really hard this week to do rankings. First of all, people just had, in my mind, a ton of upsets, and along with all those upsets, there was a bunch of really close battles where when someone gets blown out, it's a lot easier. And then the fact that so many games were so hacksy, it makes it hard to do power rankings, because then it's not really exactly how they played. They got lucky. Not to take away from anyone, but this week was just so hard to do power rankings for.
And plus, it was the first week back to school for most people, so
yeah, it was
a lot of battles didn't get done until the end of the week, which I can understand, but it was just tough because then we have to watch way too many battles at the end. But hopefully now that we're getting settled in, battles will get out sooner.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna see if I can do this without getting it. Oh shoot, darn it, I didn't. Oh well. I'm just gonna quickly go to look at the doc just to kind of go over next week.
Well, the matches. I mean, I could have done it, so you could have stayed on there. But...
Oh yeah, we're golden now. Okay. I'm sorry, that was awful, guys. I'm really sorry.
Shame.
Okay, do you want to just tell me what they are so I don't have to keep on
schedule? Week 4. My match of the week. Duck versus Kapitol. Duck's gonna win it.
Yeah, that should be interesting because they're both 1 and 2. They're both coming off a win.
And Kapitol's been talking a bunch of shit, so I want to see his little ass put into the ground by Duck.
Yep.
Next match is Vesuvius versus Nanas.
Okay.
They're both coming off a win, but with Vesuvius, I haven't been playing better consistently.
Yep.
I'm personally expecting Vesuvius to win.
Yeah.
Then we have Nathan versus Sethie. Nathan win. I don't know what else to say.
Nathan's kind of coming off a heartbreaking loss. Sethie. Okay, maybe not this game, but I still feel like Sethie has just been on the edge of winning, and if he can turn some things around.
The first 2 weeks, not this past week.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about this, but I think Sethie has got it in them to pull it out.
Okay, next game is Zombie versus Woof. That's gonna be a good game.
Yep.
I don't know who's gonna win. This one of the. I think it was the toughest game for me to choose.
Yeah.
Again, another tough game for me to choose is Jason versus Pesky.
That is going to be a very exciting game.
Yeah, that'll probably be the closest match of the week, just looking at the standings.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty similar to the Archfiend versus Pesky this week.
Yeah. So, wow, Pesky 2 weeks in a row going to be like, we're expecting to have a match of the week 2 weeks in a row. Live up to the hype. Next we have, gosh, you still got to change it. It's MXC versus Wolverine.
Okay, that's a decent.
I'm thinking MXC might have the edge just because he's been playing better recently. But you know Wolverine better, and just hearing what you've said,
I think that
one. Can't pull it out.
I think that one's a really big one for Wolverine because if he wins 3 in a row, so I've played like 6 seasons of League with him. I honestly don't even know if he's ever lost 3 games in a regular season for me. So to win or to lose, sorry, I don't think he's ever lost 3 in a whole season, or if he has, that's like his max. So if he loses 3 in a row and only wins his first game, then loses 3 of the next. So yeah, loses 3 of the 4. I think that it's just gonna go in his head, and he gets really angry when he loses. So that would not be good for him. So I think this one for MX is one that will like kind of once again show that, because we've seen that Wolverine can play well earlier.
This will like be a make or break for both these. Well, more so for Wolverine, but it'll be like,
and it'll be a kind of a proving point.
Yeah, proving point for MX and a make or break for Wolverine.
Yep.
When next would be Luke versus Seb.
That one should be good because those are once again 2 people who are trying to prove themselves. Seb kind of did this.
But Luke has been playing well.
Yeah, he's just been barely missing out. So.
And did we say Apache versus Arch?
What was that?
Did we say Apache versus Arch yet?
Oh, we did not. No.
And then that's the final game this week. The alliteration game. Because the A is the beginning of the name.
Yeah.
I'll make my way out with that nice academic fun.
Yeah. So I think next week. I think this week was really exciting. I think next week will still be pretty exciting. Hopefully it's not as happy as this week. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. I just want Duck to win this week. I'm biased here. I'm gonna guess that pick 'em for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna talk so much shit, come on.
Yeah.
It's like unless if you're a big fan of it doesn't matter unless if you're a big fan of that team or person. If anyone's talking shit, you always kind of hope, even if it's just really deep down inside you, that they lose just so they get proved wrong. Like in anything, like someone, like even if your friends just shit talking just for fun, you'll still kind of hope deep down inside that they'll lose just so you can laugh at them because they're your friend and attack.
Yeah. Okay, so should we end it here then?
Yeah.
Okay, peace out.